Newly elected President Trump wasted no time making it clear that affordable housing in America is a big priority for his administration. But will the new Trump policies, especially tariffs on imported goods, help or hurt the housing market? Find out on this video. Monday night, on the day of his inauguration, Trump issued a memorandum to all federal departments and agencies directly addressing inflation and affordable housing. Now, Trump is adamant that the solution to lower the cost of housing and expand housing supply is to improve new construction housing. Now, Trump believes part of the historically high prices in America is due in part to Biden's overregulation on new construction. Trump stated Biden's unprecedented regulatory oppression accounts for 25% of the cost to construct a new home, and that his first-term agenda is to drastically lower regulatory costs, which he believes will restore purchasing power to the American family and improve our quality of life. Now, without a doubt, many of Trump's initiatives, such as how he'll handle inflation and tariffs, will directly and indirectly impact housing, but nothing tells us more about Trump's housing policies than who he picks for federal department and regulatory agencies. Trump is famously anti-regulation and has promised to look at every government agency and regulatory body to see where he can make cuts and improvements and even eliminate departments entirely. And federal housing agencies are no exception. First is HUD. In coming months, we're going to see drastic changes in the HUD department. Regarding HUD, the Trump administration said they are going to explore a massive reset and, quote, a broad reversal of the Biden administration's persistent implementation of corrosive, progressive ideologies across the department's programs. Trump appointed Scott Turner as the new HUD secretary, and Turner is not new to HUD or the Trump administration. He worked closely with Ben Carson, who was the former HUD secretary during Trump's first term as president. One of the big issues Turner will address is the impact of illegal immigrants on affordable housing. Turner said, "When you have 12 to 20 million people coming across illegally to our country, it's going to be a great burden on the economy, on housing, on homelessness, and on health in our country." Turner aligns with the Trump administration that it's important to eliminate illegal immigration in order to, quote, take care of the American people. Part of this initiative will include the identification and removal of any non-citizens who are participating in federally assisted housing programs, including all mixed status families. Hey, a quick message from our sponsors, then we'll get right back to the video. This year, there is no excuse why you can't get started in real estate. The key is being able to find good real estate deals that you can flip for profit or keep for cash flow, and nowhere has it been easier than with PropWire. With over 157 million properties nationwide, PropWire is where you can find your first or next great deal. And here's why this is a complete game changer. PropWire is absolutely free to search and download as many properties as you want. No monthly subscription, no data upcharges. To do your first search, go to joinpropwire.com. Now back to the video. Next is the Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA, which is responsible for the supervision and regulation of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the federal home loan banks. Under Trump, the agency's goals and priorities are not yet clear, but a lot can be said for who Trump appointed as the director of FHFA, Bill Pulte. Now, you may recognize the name. Bill Pulte is the grandson of the late home builder icon William Pulte and is the founder of Pulte Capital Partners, which focuses on, guess what? Construction investments. Now, with his ties to home building, I think it's safe to say new housing initiatives will play a role in the FHFA agency. Next is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, which is a U.S. government agency dedicated to making sure consumers are treated fairly by banks, lenders, and other financial institutions. What exactly that means, I have no idea, but it must not be viewed as a very necessary department and may come to an end. Elon Musk, who was appointed director over the newly formed and controversial Department on Government Efficiency, or DOGE, whose purpose is to eliminate government waste, said the CFPB should be deleted. Not reformed, deleted. Another one bites the dust. Finally, a bold move that is expected to greatly influence housing is the Trump administration's policies on tariffs. Now, Trump has proposed tariffs on imports from a number of countries, including tariffs of 60 to 100% for products imported from China and a 25% tariff on all goods from Mexico. Now, critics of the Trump tariffs believes they will negatively impact home builders. That certainly happened with the Trump tariffs last time. During Trump's first term, tariffs on Canadian lumber led to a surge in costs for home builders. Back in 2018, it was estimated that Trump tariffs added $9,000 to the cost of constructing a new home. This time, in order to really grasp how these tariffs could impact housing, let's look at some staggering statistics on the material supply chains by the National Association of Home Builders. Of all housing construction materials imported in America, about 30% come from China, 20% coming from Canada, and another 20% come from Mexico. So 70% of building materials in America are imported from those three countries. That means the proposed Trump tariffs of, let's say, 10 to 20% general and a 60% tariff on Chinese imports are estimated to raise the annual cost of imported building materials by $3.2 billion. Those tariffs would significantly impact items like household appliances, where 54% of imports originate from China. Canada remains a critical partner for wood-related imports, supplying 70% of sawmill and wood products worth $5.8 billion in 2023. These imports already face a 14.5% tariff. Mexico's major contribution includes lime and gypsum products, with 71% of imports valued at $456 million in 2023. I think it's safe to say that the Trump tariffs will increase the cost of housing materials, but to what end? I mean, is it still a good idea? On one hand, the fact that we rely so heavily on imported goods is pretty scary. 70% of all building materials come from three countries. Maybe it's time we manufacture our own goods. Maybe we stop overtaxing our own people so heavily and instead tax other countries doing business with us. I mean, I'll admit, this will directly impact me. I buy materials directly from China on my building projects in Puerto Rico because I can save so much money. These tariffs would make my costs go up significantly, but is it the right thing to do long term? To me, not manufacturing our own goods is like letting your 10-year-old boy stay up all night long playing video games and eating junk food. In the short run, it's a lot easier than making him do homework and going to bed on time, but is it the best thing for him in the long run? I don't think so. Now, what do you think? Do you find the Trump tariffs contradictory to his policies on making new housing more affordable? Overall, are you for or against the Trump administration's plans to improve housing, inflation, and the economy? Leave a comment and let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.